Let's take a look at the fixed to rent calculator. Okay, let's take a look at the fixed to rent estimator, the calculator. And this one's going to take a little bit of practice. Okay, work through the numbers, look at a couple of deals, see what you can come up with. And I think what you're going to see is okay, this is a little bit harder of a deal to find, but if I can find it, then it's going to work out really well if I put everything together correctly. So, hey, let's just suppose that we're finding a property and we look at it and it's a fixer upper and it's going to have an after repair value of 100,000. And as we start going down through, I'm going to put some costs in. Yeah, I'm going to have to get both a hard money loan, remember, and then I'm going to put the long-term rental financing together. And so I'm going to have some costs. And let's just put, 1% there for now. I'm going to have some holding costs, okay, as I do things. Hey, 4% may feel a little bit high, that 3,000. Let's drop that down to 2% or $2,000. Okay, gonna have interest payments. I'm gonna have electrical, water, everything like that. And then am I gonna have to pay some money to refinance the property? Well, yeah, I'm gonna, have some costs associated with turning this into the long-term loan. And then I'm going to look at the repairs. And in this case, I'm guessing 20,000. Okay, so we're estimating that. And just to make things work, then we need to have that equity percentage of 25%. Because remember, we want to be able to pull our funds out, our matching funds with the hard money loan when we get to time to refinance this deal into a long-term rental loan. Okay, so I'm going to, in this case, say I need 25,000 in equity. So this is what the offer looks like. I can offer 51,000 for this property. Okay, is that going to be an acceptable offer? Are there going to be negotiations? Well, that's going to be very property specific, but let's take the next steps here. Let's go on. And now we need to start looking at it as a rental. Hey, what if we looked at it and said, you know what, we can rent this for $1,200 a month, okay, $14,400 a year, and I'm going to need some maintenance, and I'm guessing things are going to happen, things break, I have to go in, a lot can depend upon the, okay, how old is the air conditioner or the furnace or the water heater? If things are, kind of older and you didn't renew them, then you got to bump up the maintenance to make sure that you have enough money to handle when that happens. Okay, vacancy rate. Okay, is someone going to come in and, leave early or have life happen to them, they've got to move or something like that? You're going to have times when it's less than ideal, but you're not going to get a rent payment that month. Okay, so we're going to budget for that. So you think through things like this, the maintenance and the vacancy rate is not real expenses until they occur, but this is basically us putting a budget together to handle that if it happens. If it doesn't happen, that's great. You made a little extra money that year. Okay, management fee. Are you going to pay someone to manage the property? If so, then yeah, that is a cost and we have to put it in. In this case, we're looking at 10%. Are there any other costs associated with owning this property? Well, it turns out this property is in a homeowners association and we need to, pay them $25 a month. So we're going to allow for that in the budget. Yeah, we're going to have insurance on this property. And because I know it's going to be $650 a year, I'm going to plug that in. And then I'm going to pay property tax. Of course, I'm going to have property tax. And then just a little something extra. Am I going to have, a landscaper, come in and do anything, or, gutter cleaning, anything like that? Kind of look at that from what you're requiring your tenant to do and what you're going to have a contractor come in and do. And we've got our cost profile put together. So now we can look at the loan. Well, because it's $100,000 after repair value and I had to have 25% equity, then the calculator's telling me that my loan amount is going to be $75,000 when I do that long-term rental loan. And at 7%, you know what? That's going to result in a monthly principal and interest payment on a 30-year loan of $498. And annually, it's coming in at $5,987. Well, from that, I've got some estimated income. And in this case, given these numbers, I would be making $298.52 a month, or $3,582.28 a year. Remember, these are estimated numbers. And so you want to go in, you want to change some of the parameters. What happens if I come up here and, it's really going to be more like a 10% vacancy rate and 10% on maintenance. What does that do to my profitability? Hey, it's still positive. Is it positive enough for me to make this deal? And so use the calculator, see how things work, understand how if you want to refinance and take all your money out so you don't have any trapped funds there, well, you got to manage the deal to get there. So practice, review, go back in, test your assumptions, and then see how to use the fixed to rent estimate calculator.